So what if your backyard could make you money? Or better yet, what if you could live mortgage-free in a fully functional, stylish mini home? Today, we're diving into tiny homes and ADUs, why they're exploding in 2025, and how you can get in on the action. I'm Lori Alvarez, and this is Real Estate with Soul. Real estate talk with zero fluff and actual facts. So let's go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Would you live in a tiny home or an ADU? So a quick breakdown. What are ADUs? It's called accessory dwelling unit, or there's also the JADU, which is the garage conversion of a junior accessory dwelling unit. I love this. Think backyard casita, converted garage, or the in-law suite. If it has a bed, bath, and microwave, it qualifies. So why are they trending? Homes with ADUs sell for 35% more, according to Porch.com, in 2024. And it costs 30% less per square foot to build than traditional homes. So here's the pros list. Pros of tiny homes and ADUs: affordability. You can build an ADU for as little as $100K, depending on where you live in California. That's cheaper than most Teslas. You could boost property value. Homes with ADUs in California have seen median appraised values grow at 9.34% per year since 2013 versus 7.65% for homes without, translating to a 2023 median value of $1.064 million versus $715,000. Lower construction costs. Makes sense. Detached ADUs range from $140 to $300. That's like $350 to $400 a square foot. Talking about detached ADUs, we had a client who just completed one a couple years back. We rented that baby out for him, and he got a bonus $2,900 a month. Something to note, you must put solar on any ADU. And well, then he moved out of the primary residence, which was in front of the ADU he put in the backyard, and we helped him buy a bigger, newer home closer to where he wanted to be. And now both those properties are rented. There's also the garage conversions. $80K to $175,000 breaks down to about $250 to $300 a square foot. Attached ADUs range anywhere from $120 to $250, which comes in around $300 to $350 a square foot. Talk about more money, rental income. Want to become a landlord without actually leaving your own backyard? Well, key here is we can't call you a landlord anymore. You're called a rental property owner. And yes, you get to rent it out. The average monthly rent for an ADU in LA is somewhere between $1,800 to $2,500 a month. A one-bedroom detached ADU in LA, say call it Venice, can fetch you about $3,300 a month, while similar units in South LA rent for around $1,600 a month. Then there's sustainability. Less space, fewer utilities. I mentioned that solar, right? Smaller carbon footprint. Boom. Mother Earth says, thank you. Family flexibility. You can have mom and dad in the backyard, or that cousin who swears he's just visiting for the weekend. Spoiler, he's not. So I would suggest you let them know you have an incoming tenant. They're going to have to move. But hey, that's why you want a realtor who can help you with that stuff, even when it's family. Now, don't grab your blueprint just yet. There are some cons too. The cons of tiny homes and ADUs. Zoning laws. We love the zoning laws. Every city has different rules. Some cities are all, yes, build the tiny home of your dreams. Others are like, nope, not on my block, pal. And then there's space constraints. Because remember, I'm almost 6 foot. So a tiny home for me really feels tiny. So if you're 6'5" and try to live in 300 square feet, congrats. You might be a human pretzel. Resale uncertainty. Not everyone wants a tiny home or to live 10 feet from their in-laws. I've got to tell you, I would not want a tenant on the property I'm living on at all. But rewind and remember the tenant who did it, or I should say, the rental property owner who did it right. Put that tiny home behind him. He was in the primary residence, rented them both out, and moved into another home. That's a win. So let's say you're considering building one. What would be the action steps? Of course, check the local zoning laws. Seriously, you need to do that even, for example, if you buy a property for that reason. Check the city's website, look for building departments, or, call a real human being. They still exist. And then there's step 2, budget smart. Basic tiny homes build ranges from $30,000 to $80,000, depending on the size and materials. ADUs, especially detached ones, can be $100,000 to $250,000. Rewind. Remember that owner I told you that did just that? He budgeted $120,000 and ended up coming in at $200,000. He didn't realize he had to add solar. And 3, hire a pro. Architects and contractors who specialize in tiny, small builds. Know the tricks, like how to make a shower fit next to a fridge. It's wizardy, especially if you want it to look good. And step 4, financing. Options include home equity loans, construction loans, or even some ADU-specific programs. California has pilot programs that will even subsidize your ADU if you rent it to low-income tenants. You're going to say, what's that? It's called Section 8. a couple years back, we had a ADU lending program that was phenomenal. Flew out the door, money was gone. So, would you live in a tiny home or an ADU? Would you let your mother-in-law live in one in your backyard? Or better yet, would you rent one out and let someone else pay your mortgage? Say yes. Let me know. DM me at Real Estate with Soul, the podcast, or you can catch me over on my personal page at Lori Alvarez Real Estate Resolved. And don't forget to leave a review with your thoughts. I love to hear them. And if you found this helpful, or at least mildly entertaining, smash that subscribe button like it owes you rent. Cha-ching! Till next time, remember, real estate doesn't have to be complicated. It just needs good coffee, I prefer tea, and a little less square footage. If you like this video, check out some of our other great videos for more real estate hot takes. We have new episodes every week. Subscribe for smart real estate that makes sense.